When we were first introduced to Bobbie's boyfriend Scott on Love After Lockup, in my opinion, he seemed like a decent dude, but of course your first judgment isn't always right, and I later found out that he wasn't all that I thought he was cracked up to be. His baby mama claimed that he hadn't paid child support in years, and then I looked up his background and found out that he was arrested on Valentine's Day of 2022 for DV in the third degree, which was a felony charge, and he got 5 years of probation for that. And he also was arrested for property damage in the second degree, and he pled guilty to that as well. This is Scott's ex, Carrie, who he was with before Bobbie, and she was the victim in that case. And Scott and Bobbie have been constantly attacking her on social media. Scott posted the other day and said, "You got a $50 ticket in January for driving on expired plates. Your ticket wasn't paid until a month later. You knew damn well them plates were expired when you got behind the wheel, but you did it anyways." I paid my lawyer at the time $5,000. This took me 60 days to come up with the money, along with paying my car note, insurance, and where I was living, and I made that happen from washing dishes, so stop playing with me. I'm sorry, you cannot compare to driving on an expired plate to a DV charge. Those are just completely two different levels. There's levels to this ish. And he also said if fake pages can get it right, then the bloggers got to get the facts instead of listening to he say, she say BS. Or else y'all are a chatty patty. I have the receipts for everything I've mentioned about the government, so relax and take notes. Scott shared a comment from someone called JJ Peterson, who has no profile picture, no friends, and no post on his Facebook. So this is what JJ Peterson had to say.
He said what happened was Scott and his ex-girl were together at some point, but towards the end, they were on and off for 2 years. He said she turned into a skank that kept sending him screenshots of different men in and out of her home to piss him off, or when she didn't get her way. On Valentine's Day, there was a man who called her on Messenger who was supposedly blocked. This was the guy the ex had slept with prior to him. Scott questioned her about it, but she ignored it. They left to get food, and Scott brought it up again, and the ex turned into full psycho mode by attempting to jump out of his car while they were going 60 miles per hour down the highway. When they finally came to a stop, she hopped out and said she was getting picked up by another man, so he grabbed her arm and snatched her glasses off her face and broke them into pieces. The whole story was posted on his page with the actual report also, but he took it down.
Okay, Scott. I mean JJ. And then JJ said,
according to Scott, the ex was insecure even though she cheated plenty of times. His ex was supposed to be taking medication for her bipolar disorder and depression, but she had already stopped taking it for over a year, so she was off her meds. And not to mention that she tried to take her own life by cutting on her wrists multiple times. I think she would drive any man effing crazy.
Carrie and Scott were together for almost 4 years. They got together in 2019, and then they broke up towards the end of 2022. And this is a picture of Carrie, and I actually spoke with Carrie because she reached out to me on Facebook, and she told me her side of the story. She shared different pictures that was used as evidence in the DV case against Scott, and you can see all kinds of injuries from bruising on her neck and behind her ear to a black eye underneath her eye. And so according to her, she said when he got the charge, it was because I wouldn't get in his car as he ordered me to do so after admitting to somebody calling me on Messenger, and I didn't even answer the call. So she had a call from one of her exes. She didn't answer the call, and she's like, Scott, I just want to be honest with you. He called me today, but I didn't answer. And Scott apparently started freaking out. He took her prescription glasses, off her face and he broke them in two, and then he hit her upside the head, then threw me down into a puddle of water. And it happened right in front of a country store that was in Farmington, Missouri. And 4 men saw the incident and they came running outside to help her, and they were ready to kick his butt, but he got in his car and backed out really fast because he was scared and trying to get away. She said when he pulled out to get away, he did it so reckless that he almost ran over her, and he took off to St. Louis to his mother's house. And apparently every time they would get into a fight, that's always where he would go. And she said that he ran back to his mom's apartment, and she claimed that he's leading Bobbie on. He puts hands on her, and I'm not the only one. He put hands on another ex, Jamie, and put hands on his baby mama, who I talk to often, and she shared her story with me in a previous video. And she said he's punched a mailbox I had, which is a federal crime, but I didn't report that. He used to slap me upside my head when we'd argue until I maced him and got a taser as I started to fear for my life. And she had a few children, and her children were fearful for her safety, that they even started to try to get involved whenever he would threaten her and go crazy. And she said he would show up at my house at random times. I live over an hour from him, and he would try to bust out my bedroom windows, and I had to call the cops on him countless times because he's literally nuts. He plays the pity party, shut up and listen to his ish music or else, and he's the devil and is a danger to society and more so to women. I wouldn't want my kids around him either if he was my baby daddy. He's not a good role model and can't even take care of himself, let alone kids. He doesn't shower and he doesn't brush his teeth, and him and Bobbie are getting back the karma they put out. I try to tell her what she's in for, as I dealt with it for years. He is a sex, I can't say the A word, but he has to have sex all the time, and he has a problem when it comes to it, according to her. And she said that he also takes pills to help him down there, and she found a receipt, and I guess she didn't know about it, and they got into a fight over that because she felt like he wasn't being honest with her. And she said that he has continuously harassed her since breaking up with her, and he even showed up at her house a month after him and Bobbie got together and claimed that him and Bobbie weren't going to work out. And he just randomly texted her, "Oh, I'm on the way to your house," and she's like, "Dude, I did not tell you to come." And he showed up and he was knocking on her bedroom window. I have a lot more receipts and a lot to talk about all this. I got like 25 more receipts we need to go through, but I'm going to be making a part 2, and that'll be coming out either later today or tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for watching.